Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So I was just sitting here in the cafeteria having some delicious hoglenhide, as I do while working on the prison. But oh, I just realized I must have taken all of the lava from here. I didn't even mean to do that. There's supposed to be a bunch of lava under here. I, well, a little bit of a spoiler. I've been using a lot of lava, so I must have taken it all from here. That is hilarious. Okay, well, I'll have to add that back in. But other than that, I actually finished the prison. So I said that I would need a couple weeks to work on this latest project, as as it would probably be more work than what the normal 1 week length would be. And so that's exactly what I did. Worked on this for like 2 weeks to finish up the prison completely, and I'm really excited and happy with how it turned out. I hope you all enjoyed the tour of the cathedral in the last video. If you have watched the world tour recently and just assume that these tour videos, aren't worth your time, trust me, they are different than what's in the world tour. The world tour, the world is so big that I could not hardly fit everything in to 1 hour. So these like little tours are much more in depth and show builds that I didn't actually show before. So if you do have time, make sure you go check that out. I think it's worth your watch time if that's something that you're interested in. If you like kind of these builds, I guess. But let's see, where should I start here? There's stuff on the other side. We'll just start with this side, and everything that was going on over here. So I don't think this was like this, but yeah, I put some windows in the back to look out here. I love the Nether. I really used to hate the Nether, but while working on this project, I feel like I've grown to like it a lot more. So if you go back through here, this of course, this wing is like where the prisoners would come in at. So like, you'd be put in here and sorted, whether you're going into general population into maximum security, or if you need to be taken over here for interrogation to figure out a little bit more. So this is a new room right here. So this is the interrogation room, and it looks really nice. It's got a lobby, so like, you could just imagine the prisoners just sitting here, just completely normal, like, oh yeah, we're chilling. They've got some coffee here. We even got like a coffee dispenser or water, whatever you would want. It looks more like coffee in here, so that's what we're going with. But we've got all of that, and then we've got these little rooms where you go in and they interrogate you. So like, this is just like a little office room, and they figure out where you should be at. Same thing over here. Pretty decent. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. And then we've got the warden's office. There's a picture of him in his younger days right there, out there riding his horse. But so sometimes you got to see the warden to get to figure out where you're supposed to go. He's got a nice view back here, some area to stack his papers. And then this is just like for the more risky criminals that need to be interrogated. They just get locked in these like little tiny cells. But if you're not talking, and you better be talking if you're in the interrogation room. But if you're not talking, they have something for you as well. You can go through these double doors. Make sure these shut. But this is, well, you can guess what this is. This is a area to make you talk. And so the first station, which is certainly the easiest station, this is, if you've seen the other prison in the castle that my brother made, this is the toe extractor. So this extracts your toes. While in this, they're just doing it for the pain of it. In the other prison, they do it as a form of currency, so you can get a slab so you don't have to lay on the ground. But, that is a tour for another time. Well, I guess I actually did the tour of the castle recently, so yeah, you can watch that. This right here, if you're still not talking, they put you in this, and this is like a mind control thing, or it wipes your mind, I don't know, something like that. It's not good. This is like some intense radiation that they put over you, and you don't even have to know what it is. You're probably going to talk as soon as you sit here, just because it looks scary. If you're still not talking, then they're going to chain you up in here, and they're going to dangle you over this hot magma block. Really not good. You don't want that. And if you're still not talking, the worst of all, they'll sit you here and make you stare at this terrible painting that no one knows what it is. And you're going to be sitting there. At first, you're like, wow, this is easy. But then the longer you look, you realize how frustrating it is to not know what this painting even is. And that's the worst form of torture. And they make you sit here until you figure it out or until you talk. So that's the final station. But, no, well, there actually is one more. Also, you can look out this way. There is one more. If none of that works, then they'll make you walk the plank. Yeah, you don't want to walk the plank. Oh, you can't see that out there. But, yeah, they'll make you walk the plank. And yeah, you just don't want to do that. So you want to make sure you talk. But also this leads into kind of the watching, like the guards area. I should probably put a door here. You don't want any of the prisoners running through the guards area. But yeah, so that's the interrogation and all that room, I guess. So let's go back through the kind of general population area of the prison. And we'll go over here and we'll go down to the left wing. So this is the showers. Look at this. So obviously you can't put water in the nether. So this is lava, but just pretend for a second that this is water. So over here, so the top floor is for like the high-ranking prisoners. So like these are the ones that are high on the tier list, and so they get this nice, clean water or lava in this case. And if you're a lower ranking, you have to go down here and shower. But the bad thing is, like, the water that runs these lower areas literally comes from up here. So this is the water that's already used. So you have to take a shower in used water, and no one ever wants to do that. And then this is just like a tub. If you're really dirty, you just go into the tub. This might actually, in theory, be actual lava, but yeah, that's besides the point. So quite a terrible experience, the showers here. If you keep going down through here, you go to the yard. Yeah, every prison has to have a yard, even in the nether. And so, yeah, we got the yard out here. So the rules of the yard. The first rule is to have fun, with a smiley face. Second rule, obey the hierarchy. Yep, you got to do that. The third rule, no spotters on the lifts. So, you pick up your own weight. You got to put it back, or else you're going to be crushed. No spotters. You can try to escape. LOL. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and run off in the nether and try to escape. You'll run into horrors beyond human comprehension. The fifth rule, basketball. I don't know why I put that, but basketball. And the sixth and final rule, if you fight, please clean up your own mess. Of course, any prison, there's going to be a lot of fights and stuff going on out in the yard. That's just where things happen. But you have to clean up your own mess, your own blood, if you fight. But yes, there is a basketball court out here, and I do think that this design, I like it for some reason. But we've got that, and then we've got like the stands here. And then here's this escape area, like, good luck escaping. They just leave the gate open, like, go ahead. These fences are just so you don't accidentally fall off, which, of course, they don't really care about, but for insurance purposes. Because, keep in mind, there is an insurance agency here in my Minecraft world, so got to keep that up for insurance purposes. But yeah, they say, go ahead and try to escape. We don't care. And then over here, we've got the weightlifting area. We got the lifting record, bench press. That's the only thing you can do. 985 pounds, which is this. Look how wide it is. That's hilarious. I love this for some reason. It's just giant. But that's a lot of weight for bench press, 985 pounds. And if you can't lift it, it'll just crush you because you're not allowed to have spotters here. But, yeah. Also, look at this. This is a pretty cool view of the prison from underneath. I think it looks really cool under here and just kind of shows how big it is. Of course, this is only half of it because a lot of it stretches past these columns and goes way out there. You can kind of see part of it over there. But, yeah, that's kind of the view of it. And we'll just leave you with this view while I go ahead and talk about the lore. Alright, here we go. It did not take long for the Slayers Guild to figure out one of the main functions of the ardential prism, located deep beneath their base. It seems to have the ability to affect the mind of anyone that ventures too near to it, but it does not affect the mind in a good way. It essentially wipes away all memories and previous thoughts, leaving the subject with just basic human instincts. It basically is a factory reset button for the brain. The guild lost many good researchers finding this out, but regardless, this is all they were able to learn about one of the many possible functions of the prism. This discovery came with disappointment for most, but the guild leader Shankan Gus saw this in a different way. Similar to the Red Flag's nether prison, this would strike fear into the hearts of any enemy that opposed the Slayers Guild. The possibility of having your mind wiped is a fate worse than death for some folks who regard themselves highly, while others might gladly welcome a fresh start, I suppose. Either way, the Red Flag and the Slayers Guild now possess their own fear-inspiring and mystical devices. So, there we go. Now we've got the story between during the Cold War. We've got the Nether Prison and the Slayers Guild. They have their ardential prism. It's a little play on words there, but essentially they are not good things to be running around with. But I hope you all enjoyed this prison series. There will probably be things that I add in eventually. I promised that we would add names on these, and eventually I will. And a hierarchy system when I do a lore update video where I go in and add like a maintenance video where I add in a bunch of like the people into the world. But that'll happen in due time. But in the next episode, we're going to be back in the main part of the city working on a couple of fun things, and do probably a couple episodes like that before I start to get into, I guess, another huge project. So thank you all for watching and sticking around for this prison series. I've really enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next